Hello, so I've made this little map. Well, I'm making it. I have absolutely no idea if this is good or rubbish or not good or not rubbish. Um, blue building, blue building. This is going to be the first blue CP point will be in here. It's a solid building. There's no rooms in there. All there are is little doorways on each ledge. And here, this is going to be like a trampoline. When you jump on it, you're going to go flying up there, which will be ideal for snipers. The rest of the area is pretty much going to be for us lot to fight. Now, my concern is spawning. So I'm thinking... Oh, by the way, I've decided that you can't have two blues opposite each other like that. So what I've eventually decided to do is put the two blues next to each other. This is the actual game now. Hammer editor. Where I can edit, the whole thing. Oh, if I just... For example, you can see there I can move a whole building to the side. So, what was I going to say? Yeah, so spawning. Blue people spawning. So these are the two blue ones. So what I thought, let's have blue spawning in this area over here. Now, if we do that, you know what's going to happen. Old, soldier moron is going to immediately jump out of here and start bouncing over here and going and spawn camping and hassling and kicking the shit out of the reds and taking as much advantage of being a soldier as they possibly can. So because I hate soldiers, I'm going to prevent them from doing that by doing this. Now, what? I'm not just going to make that a massive wall, although it's not a terrible idea. What do you think of that? Should I do that? No, I'm not going to do it. What I'm going to do is change this to a different skin. I'm going to create what's called a player clip. And then put it in there. I need to make this apply texture. Player clip again. Apply. Move this little box in here so you can see what I'm doing. So this is now a player clip. What this does is this prevents players can't pass this, but missiles and rockets can. So I'm going to put that all the way up to the top of the skybox. I want to check something. Is that actually touching there? Touching there, that's correct. Okay, so go all the way up to the top of the skybox. There you go, so now it's going all the way up to the top. I'm happy with that, I think. Obviously, I'm going to make that into a group, and I can just shift that across onto the other sides as well. There it is there, but I'm going to rotate it 180 like that. There you go. You can see it's met up with the wall exactly. And then I'm going to grab that one and that one. I've got two of them. Look. There's the two new ones. Oops, sorry. One there, one there. If I rotate them 180. They're good to go. Oops. Not 180, 90, sorry. Transform 90 degrees on the Z-axis. They're good to go on here. There you go. So now we've got these player clips. So that prevents people spawning and then coming straight out. Okay, so let's have them spawning directly opposite each other. So here, it would appear to me would be, or here even, there should be a door. So we want a door in that wall. So the first thing we do is to get rid of that texture. And there's a reason for that. I'll explain it in a minute. My mouse has suddenly gone very slow. So I've got cat hair. That's better. A little bit better. Let me just pause. Okay, so I've just fixed my my mouse, which was really annoying me because it was really slow. It wasn't scrolling around the screen very quickly. So this is a wall. I'm going to make a door in this wall. So here's the side view of the wall. Let's first of all put a little fella down there so we can get the height right. There's a fella. Here he is, look. Little fella, red and blue. Big wall, eh? There he is. That's the fella. So he's as high as this. I'm going to use this tool here to cut. So I'm going to make it quite high. What's happening? Cut. Damn you. What's going on? There you go, it's cutting. Let's get rid of it. Like that. Actually, that's too low. Control Z. Oh, for God's sake. Come on. That's it. Cut. And then top view. That's the center there. Let's make it quite big. Cut. Cut there. There's a reason you cut it like that, by the way, which I might explain later. I might not. Don't know. And there's your door. So I'm going to keep that because that may well actually be a door. It's only 32 thick. Let me just thin it a little bit. I may well make that a door. In fact, I'll just show you. I've just created a little lip. You can't see. I don't know if you can see. Well, I'll tell you, I'll make it easier for you. I'm going to lift this texture here and do that. Do this. Wish you should see. I want to make this a door, so I go to browse and I go to type door in. I'll find a door texture. That's a metal door. So that's the one I like to use. That is the door. That is a door, yes? So, A team will come piling out of here, and they have to start capping. So, in order for this to work, I'm going to spawn the team in there. I'm just thinking. I'm looking up there because I'm thinking, well, they're going to get attacked from up there, so they need to be housed somehow. So I'm going to have to create a little building here, I think. So let me just do that now. Go back to my no draw texture. Keep this as 8 minutes long so far. I don't want to. This is probably very boring for a lot of people, but I'm going to carry on anyway. That's the wrong side, isn't it? That's good. It's the wrong thing. There you go. That's why I couldn't see it. There's the wall I'm about to build. Yeah. Oh, what's going on there? There's something very wrong with that. It's better. Hey, that's interesting. I wonder if I should put it right up next to that. That kind of makes sense. Let's do another one, another wall. I'm making these walls really thick. Do we? Right, I'm going to make that the same length as that one there. That'll be obvious why in a minute. What I'm going to do is grab these two, which are the same length, and make this a much bigger space. Bigger room, spawn room. Can't beat a nice big spawn room. I'll put these back. And basically, so what I've created is a room, and you can see here's the corner. I just want to show you something. There's the corner. Now, I'm going to put a texture on this side of this wall. Okay, that side. So that texture is going to be going underneath there, which when I add lighting, the lighting is going to try and render that underneath there, which we don't really want it to do, because that's just wasting time, energy, and potentially creating lag issues. So how you fix that is you do this. You basically put a corner on. So now the flat edge there inside here, that's always going to have a no draw texture on. If it's a no draw texture, it's not going to be drawn by the game engine. So I need to do that to each side. So it's good practice to do that. And you know what, I discovered it myself, although I'm sure it's standard. I didn't get that from a guide. I worked it out in my head. So I'm awesome. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say to you. Okay, so this is still open to, if this is going to be a spawn room, this is still open to attack from above. So I need to put some sort of ceiling in there. And I'm not quite sure what type of ceiling to put in, so let's just put a flat one in for now. Again with the no draw texture. 16. I put a little lip on it of 4. So now we have a room for people to spawn in and then go out and fight here. So that's fine, although I still think I'm going to be in for a lot of problems. Let's just colour this in. So I'm going to lift the textures. There's a lot of wisdom in just lifting textures like this as well, because it means they marry up, you see. If you lift it from the source. Do I want a orange ceiling? Well, why not for now? Now, same deal here. It's going to be... Oh, it's already coloured in, isn't it? See, this part of the ceiling is actually going to be underneath the wall. But, yeah, whatever. I don't care. Let's make the whole thing orange for now. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so there we go. That is the new spawn room. So they come out and they go, right, we need to get this point first. But it's always going to be douches who are trying to stop the red team. So the red team have just come out over here. So it's a matter of how do we stop people getting over there and doing damage? Well, I'll have a little fiddle around and I think about that. But in the meantime, I'll stop boring you with this. This is 15 minutes into a tutorial about building a spawn room. I've not explained anything. I've just let you watch me do it. So come back later on, I guess, or watch the next one and I'll show you the next stage.